Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Greg Jones with Engine Builder. Welcome to a brand new episode of Engine of the Week. Today we're in Camarillo, California, checking out Modular Motorsports Racing, joined by President Mark Luton. And this right here between us is a Billet Pro Mod Coyote, and it's our Engine of the Week.
Engine Builder's Engine of the Week is sponsored by Pengrade 1.
Mark, pleasure to see you.
Greg, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been awesome checking out the shop here today.
Awesome having you guys.
And one of the pinnacle things that you guys do are these Pro Mod Coyote engines. And would love to know a little bit more about what goes into it, because it's a lot of stuff that you guys do here in-house.
So this engine is something that I developed back in 2016.
Okay.
We brought the first one to life in 2017. In other words, fired the first one up in 17. Started racing them in 2017, and then really got them successfully selling and competing in a lot of other cars from that point forward. You know, this really is the pinnacle of our engineering and what we've learned. And yeah, it's been a great project for us. We're really proud of this engine. We've set the world record with this in a door slammer. We've run as quick as a 567 at 265 miles an hour.
Wow.
That was at Las Vegas altitude. That was actually in 2019, many years ago.
Okay.
So we've been real successful with the engine. Sold a lot of them to drag radial guys, 10.5 guys, and even Pro Mod guys. So
yeah, that's awesome. So Mark, if you would walk us through, you know, what you guys do here, because there's a lot of billet components that you guys are making here in-house.
That's right.
And then talk a little bit as well about some of the internals.
Sure, gotcha. So the basics of this engine, at least as you're seeing it here, this is a 358 cubic inch motor. Okay. It uses a 4/165 stroke, which is a pretty big stroke for a little engine, but it's still a 3,700 bore. We end up displacing on these motors anywhere between 351 and about 360 inches. We can go larger. We have a 4/300 stroke option also available to our customers. The heart of the engine is the billet block. It mirrors the factory Coyote engineering as far as bore spacing, deck heights in some cases. This is a tall deck version in this particular case, but we offer a short deck and a tall deck. The tall deck is 10.5 inches. The engine, and like I said, this particular engine is a 360 cubic incher. This is set up for a twin turbo application, as you can see by the dual throttle body.
Yeah.
We'll generally run turbos as little as twin 76s all the way up to twin 94s. Okay. They'll produce about 4,500 horsepower with a pair of 94 millimeter turbochargers.
Wow.
At about 10,000 RPM, 10,500 RPM is usually what we run them to. One of the best things about these engines is their reliability and their lack of maintenance between rounds compared to, say, a comparable pushrod engine. There's no valve adjustments. You over rev them or bounce them off the limiter. They don't need to be torn down. That's one of the great things about them with a hydraulic lifter. And that's one of the crazy things about these, is that they still do use a hydraulic lifter in them.
Yeah.
So, so 360 inches, 4/175 or 4/165 stroke, 3,700 bore. We run these at around 10.5 to 1 compression. Okay. So definitely not high, not terribly low. Methanol fuel is what we generally run them on, but our customers will also run them on ethanol sometimes. They use obviously a purpose-built turbocharged camshaft with specs that are kind of suited to help the little engine spool the big turbo, but still be able to take advantage of the RPM on the top end. Okay. From the gigantic one-piece timing cover, all the way to the cylinder heads, to the intake manifold. These are all done on our big VF6, all carved out of aluminum. The timing cover starts out as almost a 300-pound chunk of aluminum to get to this point. Wow. So probably one of the heavier parts besides the block, which is about, gosh, if I remember correctly on the block, we were 800-pound chunk for the block before we get started, and we whittled that down to about 100 pounds.
Wow.
So yeah, so a lot of machining going on there, but everything is built in-house. We use all of our timing system components on it. So again, we've had to switch from a plastic timing guide to a full aluminum timing guide. with a proprietary guide material that doesn't soften with methanol, as I had shown you earlier, with the black strips. So everything that we've done in the last few years, and probably even the last decade, has been focused on making these engines reliable and produce good horsepower.
Absolutely. So, Mark, you mentioned, obviously a lot of the billet components on the outside of the engine that you guys make here in-house.
Yeah.
How about some of the internals that go into a Pro Mod level build like this?
Sure. Well, you'd be shocked. So, outside of the billet crankshaft, so it does have a billet crankshaft. It's made by Bryant.
Okay.
It uses a set of billet forged rods made by Bill Miller. Great connecting rods, by the way. Awesome company. I love dealing with Bill.
Yeah.
But fantastic rods. Never had a single failure with Bill stuff. Manly pistons.
Okay.
Again, a pretty big piston pin. This is a 912 pin, if I remember correctly. 250 wall, so quarter-inch thick wall, huge wall thickness. Manly forged pistons in it. We don't do any coatings on the drag race stuff just because the tear down on them.
Yeah, they don't last that long anyhow.
They don't last long enough to really be able to take advantage of that. Total seal rings. We'll use a stainless. I'm sorry, not a stainless. We'll use a tool steel top ring. Ductile iron second ring is usually all we need. We don't run gapless. These are usually just a standard gapped ring.
Okay.
Standard oil ring. We run a 3mm 1.5 ring package. So nothing terribly out of the ordinary. At least for a kind of a modern overhead cam V8 engine. The camshafts, as I had told you, they're made by Comp Cams. This engine uses factory cylinder heads.
Okay.
Those are factory castings inside of the engine. They've had a lot of work done to them.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you poured them.
Exactly. So these have been ported on the VF6 CNC machine behind us. It's our own proprietary port job, something that we've spent a lot of time working on. The flow numbers aren't crazy on them. They'll get close to 400 CFM on the intake side. Valves, we run a stainless steel exhaust valve and titanium intake valve. We've actually run titanium on the exhaust also, and actually had really good luck with it in drag race.
Yeah.
We use a proprietary valve spring for us. It's built for us by Manley. They work with us on that. Again, titanium retainers. That's pretty much standard on most of the engines that we do there. The cylinder heads. It's a dry deck combination.
Okay.
So what we do is we take the factory casting, which it is tough to weld on these things, but we'll close off the deck surface. So basically all the deck is fully welded closed so that we don't have water passing between the two decks.
Yeah.
So that gives us a lot of safety for one, and it really improves the integrity of both the block and the cylinder head.
Right.
A copper gasket, we run a 072 gasket on these. That's pretty standard on these engines. The short decks, we tend to run a little thinner gasket because we're able to get away with it. They are O-ringed. We run a stainless steel ring with a receiver groove on the other side. Sometimes we'll run double grooves, but we haven't found it necessary, and have really good head gasket life. In fact, head gaskets on these engines, or head gasket failures, very, very uncommon, even at our Pro Mod level. So if you're blowing head gaskets on these things, you're doing something wrong. Usually a tune-up issue or something like that. So, and then it has a factory roller follower, rocker arm, and a factory lifter, believe it or not. So we're still utilizing some of the factory components within the engine. So
very cool.
We do use a lot of, like I said, all of the factory dimensions, but we do actually use some factory components inside also.
Yeah, excellent. All right, then you mentioned the dual throttle body up top.
That's right.
The billet intake.
Correct. Yep.
Nice.
Dual throttle bodies. We've worked with Wilson for many, many years. Wilson, definitely by far the best throttle body manufacturer that we've worked with out there. Amazing billet throttle bodies. The intake manifold, something again that we make. This is our tall deck version, so you may recall the smaller one that you held up there. It's a little bit thinner.
Right.
This one's a little bit wider to match that 10.5 deck height. Pretty big. We've got to make them a little bit thicker because we've got a little bit more area here so that we don't get flex in it under vacuum and under boost. We don't want to see those things ballooning. So we add a little bit of thickness to them. And then same kind of deal again. We run a dual injector on any of the engines that make over 2,500 horsepower just for safety and efficiency.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it on this one.
Very good. All right, so Mark, you mentioned that these are capable, depending on the turbo setup and the size of the turbos, potentially 4,500 horsepower.
That's right.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, 4,500 horsepower. They'll do it for a full season without any major teardown. as long as obviously that they have oil changes. We generally on something like this, we'll change the oil every event.
Yeah.
So because they're run on alcohol, and the oil gets really milky. So, but yeah, incredibly reliable at 4,500 horsepower. So
yeah. And this particular customer and this particular engine, is that where it's kind of living, or is it?
So this particular engine, this one's probably running around 3,500. This one is run on a 10.5 tire in a Pro Mod chassis. So kind of a mixture of both. Little horsepower turned down a little bit more. Great chassis, smaller tire.
Yeah.
Larry, who is our customer, Larry has run I believe he's been 394, 395 on that tire, and he's only just gotten started. This is only his second season getting used to this. Actually, this will be his second season, so it's got a lot of potential left for him.
Yeah.
We've been in the 390s, low 390s on 10.5s also, so he's right about where we were, maybe 5-6 years ago. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Mark, let us know if we're leaving anything out about the Pro Mod Coyote here, but this thing is killer, and it's awesome to see one in person, and we appreciate you telling us about it.
Thank you, Greg. It's always fun showing you guys new stuff.
Absolutely. All right, guys, well, that's been this episode of Engine of the Week. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you're checking out everything that Mark and his team here at MMR are doing, and as always, make sure you're checking out enginebuildermag.com for more awesome engine content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. Hey, while I've got you guys here, I wanted to tell you about Find a Builder. It's a new microsite on enginebuildermag.com that's great for both engine shops and for potential customers looking to get engine work done. If you're an engine builder, this site is a place where you guys can list your shop and what you guys do to potential customers through enginebuildermag.com. It's an easy subscription-based microsite that'll let you guys connect to a new audience. And if you're a potential customer looking to get engine work done, this is a source to help you guys find a shop that's in your area or one that specializes in the type of engine work that you're trying to get done. Make sure you guys are checking out Find a Builder on enginebuildermag.com. Thanks.